Verbal Riot.
All right. So this story, I wasn't even sure I was going to do, if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, I wasn't sure I was going to do the story because it's so outrageous and so ridiculous. And I don't want to be that guy that just piles on this person, but I feel like this needs to get talked about. And it's weird because it's an old story, but it resurfaced because of something tragic, something tragic that happened Sunday. So there was you guys for the most part know who the pop star Katy Perry is, right? Katy Perry, she's a big pop star, broke out with that stupid song "I Kissed a Girl" and I liked it and that whole deal. And she's had a bunch of hits. She's had a bunch of hits to her credit, right? But she's kind of obnoxious, right? She's kind of annoying to watch. Recently, she went to space, and I talked about that. She was on that rocket that looked like a flying dick that flew into space. When she was up there with 6 or 7 other women who were just as like, obnoxious as she is, and she came down from space. Space. They barely went above the Earth's atmosphere, but okay. She came back from space, kissed the ground because she was happy to be back on Earth. And then all these rumors started flying around that that whole thing was faked, that they never went into space. I don't know how true that is. I haven't done a deep dive into that because at the end of the day, I don't care. I say send her to space and just keep her there. But she got a lot of backlash from that space trip, like a lot of backlash. Like people were pissed at her because of stuff she was saying after, right? She made it, she was very like out of touch with the rest of us, which I don't even know what that means. You're a rich pop star. Guys, no wealthy person is in touch with us. Okay. No one of real wealth is in touch with us. Okay. I know some of y'all like to even think, Donald Trump, who I voted for, by the way, but some of y'all think like guys like even him are, down with the people. None of these people with that kind of money are down with us. Okay. Let's please stop doing this. So I'm not going to fault the girl for being a rich pop star, right? I'm not going to call her out of touch because, yeah, of course she is. Of course she is, right? I'm not going to get on her case about it. Hey, if I had $1 billion, guess what? I would be out of touch with y'all too. That's just how it goes. They live in a different reality than we live in. But, she got a lot of shit for her antics, after outer space. So fast forward like a week later, it turns out an old story resurfaced because a person involved passed away. So in LA, there's this we've known about this for a little while, but it's always been kind of rumor. No one ever knew the truth. It was like, we hear this all the time because there is a property and it used to be a church. Well, it used to be more than a church. It was like a big like synagogue, or it was a big place where, not a synagogue, that's for the Jews, but it was a big church, big, right? And it was like a campus, and there were several other religious buildings on this campus. So this property is massive, right? Uh the people who were there were elderly nuns. And because the place kind of shut down, uh the nuns wanted to sell this property, right? So they found a buyer to buy this property. Turns out, though, now, by the way, this happened in 2015, where this all happens. So it turns out that they found a buyer and everything was set to go. But then Katy Perry decided, hey, I want that property, right? So she spoke to the archdiocese, who I guess are over the nuns, and made a secret deal with him. And the nuns were pissed because they're like, no, we didn't make that deal. You're like, what are you doing? And the nun who led this whole thing was named Catherine Rose Holtzman, sister Catherine Rose, I should say. So they got into it, man. Like her and Katy Perry like really got into it, and and their whole thing was, they didn't want to sell the property to Katy Perry because she goes against everything they believe in, right? Everything they believe in. Like Katy Perry dances in lingerie. humps the floor, does weird shit like that. They weren't into it. So they didn't want to sell the property to her, and they shouldn't have to. But Katy Perry was on these women. Like they were trying to find, she was trying to find dirt on the nuns, bruh. Like she was trying to find dirt on nuns. And let me just pull this up, man, because I'm sitting here talking, but this is real shit, y'all. So here we go. Nun involved in Katy Perry convent lawsuit collapses and dies in court. Oh, I'm sorry. That was, and this happened in March 2018, where she dies. But it's recently resurfaced. So I'm sorry. I thought she died Sunday, but no, she died in 2018. I just read that. But they brought it. The case has come back up for some reason because of it, right? And so, yeah, this woman died fighting Katy Perry in court because Katy Perry wanted to take the nuns' property away from them, right? So this is the nun right here. This is Catherine Rose. Sister Catherine Rose. This is the woman Katy Perry was trying to swindle. And here is a video of the nuns pleading with Katy Perry to leave them alone.
To Katy Perry to please stop. It's not doing anyone any good except hurting a lot of people. Oh.
So yeah, they were on the news pleading with this woman, with this pop star, to leave them alone, right? There's a lot of properties in LA, and Katy Perry had to have that one. This woman, this elderly woman, this elderly nun died in court. Y'all died in court fighting Katy Perry. This woman should have been in her twilight years, man. She should have been she served a life. She had a life of serving God, right? She had a life of serving the church. And can you believe your last breath is in court fighting Katy Perry? So they instituted this. This case was so bad, they came up with the Katy Perry Act, right? And let me blow it up so you guys can read this for yourself. But I'm gonna read it. The Katy Perry Act, or the Protecting Elder Realty for Retirement Years Act, is a proposed law inspired by Katy Perry's real estate disputes, aiming to prevent financial abuse of elderly individuals in property transactions. They had to come up with a law to protect elderly people against rich pop star predators. This is the wildest thing I've seen in a while, right? I see wild shit all the time. I just do. It's I guess it's part of my life, but but this one is like there's low, and then there's just kind of low. You know what I mean? Now, did Katy Perry intentionally try to kill this woman? I need to watch what I say because I don't want to get sued for libel, right? Katy Perry didn't lay a finger on this woman. If any lawyers are watching, she didn't lay a finger on her. The woman was old. She died of old age in court fighting for her property against Katy Perry, right? So let me make sure I get all the words right before I have people coming down on me. But they had to create an act to stop this from happening to other people, to other elderly people. How awful of a human being are you? Now, I was starting to feel bad for Katy Perry when, she started getting all that shit from going into outer space. God, I hate saying that, for going high in the air, because she didn't go into outer space, for taking her rocket ride. They gave her a lot of shit for taking her rocket ride, right? I was starting to feel bad. Guys, leave her alone, right? She did what any billionaire would do. or millionaire. They, if I could ride in a rocket, sure, maybe I would do it too. Just to say I've been to space. She wasn't in space, but just to say you know what I mean? I didn't want to fault her for that. But then this story comes up, and I'm like, okay, she deserves it. She deserves all the shit she gets. She is not a good person.